Hey guys, it's Beth and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a really fun one. As you know, my last video was a full face of Dollar Tree makeup. So I thought I would go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and do a full face of high-end makeup. I just wanted to add a little bit of balance to my channel. So if that sounds interesting to you, then just keep on watching. Since I don't have a headband up here, I'm going to use some sunglasses to keep my hair back. And then I got this little basket full of everything that I'm going to be using. So the first thing that I'm going to apply is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. And this is like a little mini deluxe sample size that I got with my points at Sephora. So I am just going to apply that to my skin. This is like a really rich moisturizer that wears really nicely under makeup, adds some good hydration, has a nice citrus scent. Alright, so now for primer, I'm going to be using the Benefit Porefessional primer. I don't use this a whole lot just because I prefer something a little bit more hydrating underneath my makeup, but I have it, so I figured I would use this in this video because, you know, we are using all high-end products and Benefit is a high-end makeup brand. Next up is foundation, and I'm going to be using my Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation, which you guys know I love because I just used it in a video recently. I did also mention that they did reformulate this foundation, so it is in new packaging and a new formula, so I can't really speak for that and how it performs in comparison to this one. But I would say that it's definitely worth a try if you are interested. So I just get a little bit of that on the back of my hand, as you know, and I just dot this around my face. And then I'm going to blend this in with a foundation brush just to start the blending process to get this evenly spread out all over the skin. And then once I have that evenly spread over the skin, I like to go in with a beauty blender to really press it in and further blend, and then also soak up any excess product that I might have on my face. There are a few things in this video that I'm going to be trying out for the first time today. The concealer, I got a new eyeshadow primer, and a brand new lip liner. So there are going to be a couple of first impressions in this video, so that's fun. All right, so now that it's all blended in, I'm going to move on to concealer, and I have a brand new concealer to try today. I bought this little mini of the newer Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy. So this is supposed to be a little bit more of a hydrating formula. So I'm really excited to try this. I used to use the original Tarte Shape Tape back in the day, but I'm so excited to try the Ultra Creamy version because I do like something these days a little bit more hydrating. So yeah, I just, like I said, bought the little mini travel size one. I think this was like $10 or $12 for this little tiny mini thing. So let's give her a try. So I am just going to get this underneath the eyes. I don't really know how much I need to use. I don't want to apply too much because I know with the original Shape Tape you do want to use it a little sparingly because a little bit does go a long way. So I'm just going to kind of use that much, and then I'm going to get this over my blemishes, which I have a lot of, underneath the nose where I have redness, and on the chin. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that in with a beauty blender. I'm really interested to see how well this covers. So far it seems to have really nice coverage. I haven't used the original Shape Tape in so many years that I can't even compare it to. I can't compare this concealer to that one because I really don't even remember. So far I do really enjoy the coverage and the finish on the skin. Is it more full coverage than some of my drugstore concealers? I honestly don't really think so. But it does look nice. I mean, I don't know if I'll purchase the full size, but we'll see. And then I do have this to use. This is the Hourglass Vanish Rose Gold Flash like highlighter stick. Again, this is in the shade Rose Gold Flash. I don't really want to use this over the top of my foundation, so I'm just gonna, or over the top of my foundation, over the top of my powders. So I'm just gonna get some of this. Oh dang, that's a little bit dark for me. But maybe once we get it blended out it'll look good. But I thought this would be nice to use underneath all my powders, just kind of add that like lit from within glow. I'm just going to go in with that same foundation brush and just kind of blend that out. This shade is not really too good for me. This is kind of giving me similar vibes to the Wet n Wild highlight, liquid highlight that I used in my last video. It's kind of adding like a little bit of a shadow up on the top of my cheekbones, which I don't really appreciate. But I mean, the finish is really nice if you can see. It does look pretty. Now you know the drill. I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Ethereal setting powder, Born This Way Ethereal setting powder, and I'm going to just start pressing that into the skin, starting off underneath the eyes, taking my time to press that powder in so nothing is looking dry or powdery or crepey, just to make sure everything is locked in and looking smooth. And then start pressing that in down the center of the face. And I'm probably going to be using this powder all over my face because I do not have a high-end pressed powder, so this is just going to set the entire face. All right, so now for bronzer, I am going to be using that little mini Nars Laguna bronzer that I used a couple videos back, and just get that around the face to add a little bit of dimension and warmth. This is actually a really nice bronzer. It does look really nice on my skin tone. It does add a little bit of a golden glow, but like just based on how it performs and how it looks, I wouldn't say that it's any better than that little Dollar Tree bronzer. And then for blush, I'm going to be using this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in this shade Diffused Heat. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. This is how it looks in the pan. It just looks so stunning on the skin. So I'm just going to get some of that on my brush and put it right on to the cheeks. As you can see, it does add a little bit of a glow. It's not like super metallic or shimmery. It just looks really nice and healthy. My cheeks just look so healthy and glowy. I'm in love right now. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and I actually have a brand new primer to try. This is the Nars Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I have been wanting to try this for years, and I finally just bit the bullet because it is really expensive for an eyeshadow primer, but if it's good, I have no problem paying the price for it. So let's go ahead and get that on the lids. Now I usually use my finger to blend out primer, so let's see how that works. I know I watch Ali Glines, and this is her favorite eyeshadow base, and she uses a brush to blend it out. By the way, I have the shade Medium. I actually really like how that looks. It looks nice and smooth on my lids, added a really good amount of coverage. I'm really excited to see how well this works, to see if it prevents creasing, because with my hooded eyes, everything creases no matter what. So we shall see. And then I have a couple of options for eyeshadow. I have this Natasha Denona Peak 5-pan eyeshadow palette, which is really pretty and kind of fits the like golden vibe that I have going for the day, and I think will look really good with the blush color that I'm wearing. But I also have this Viseart neutral matte eyeshadow palette, which I've only used like once or twice. These are freaking expensive eyeshadow palettes, but I can't decide. This is literally like all just matte eyeshadows, and they are really stunning. But I think I'm actually just going to use this little Natasha Denona palette for today. This has pretty much all the colors that you need to create a beautiful look. So let's go ahead and see what we come up with. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this shade right here, and this is kind of like a pink terracotta color. It is really pretty. It almost reminds me like of clay or something like that. So I am just going to start by getting that into the crease. Maybe I'll do like a little bit of a halo eye today, something a little bit different than I've been doing. These Natasha Denona eyeshadows are really pigmented and really beautiful to work with. I don't really know if buying one of her larger, like super expensive palettes would be worth the price in my opinion. But they are really nice, especially if you get one of these smaller palettes. They are a little bit more affordable. And then once I have that shade built up to where I want it, I'm going to go in with this deep like burnt orange color. This is such a beautiful shade. I love me some burnt orange. And I'm going to start pressing that on the outer corner and bringing that up into the crease. Ooh, we are getting some fallout. I'm just going to try to like flick that away, and that worked just fine. Maybe tap off my brush and just keep pressing that onto the outer corner because it is so pigmented that I really want to be careful with this shade. And I'm kind of just like tapping and dragging to kind of disperse the color where I want it. So we have that, and then I'm going to take that same shade and get that on the inner corner of the eye as well. Doing the same thing, just kind of pressing. I don't want this shade to get out of control. And then I'm going to take this bronzy shimmer shade in the palette, and I'm going to get that on my finger, and I'm just going to start pressing that on the center of the lid. Such a beautiful bronze. And I'm just using pressing motions. I'm not swiping, just pressing. And I am bringing it slightly above the crease. And then I kind of wipe off my finger and kind of just slightly blend over those edges. All right, so that is how we are looking so far. I'm going to go into this matte cream shade, which I love that she has one in such a small palette because I feel like they are essential. And I'm just going to blend that underneath the brow bone. And then for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into that first shade that I used in the crease, and I am going to get that along the entire lower lash line. And then you can even go into that shimmer shade and press a little bit of that underneath the center of the lower lash line just to continue that halo effect, which looks so pretty. And then I'm even going to grab a little bit of that burnt orange just at the very tip of my brush and get that on the very outer corner of the eye. Then I'm going to take some of that dark brown in the palette, and I'm just going to start pressing that along the upper lash line just to add some depth and make the eyelashes appear a bit fuller, just a little bit of definition along that lash line. And I'm only doing that on the inner and outer corner as well because I really want that, that brightness on the center of the lid to stay. All right, so now I'm going to try something a little bit different that I've actually never tried before, and I'm going to go into my Hourglass blush, and I'm going to just try to focus on that lighter shade in there and see if I can just get that on the inner corner of the eye. See how well that works. It's not super shiny, but I just want something a little brightening in there, which that worked absolutely perfectly. And then I'm just going to do brows and mascara off camera, but for the brows I will be using this Hourglass little, arch brow pencil. And I have the shade Warm Brunette. And then as for brow gel, I'll be using my INH Quick Slick. But once that is done, I will be right back. All right, so brows and mascara are done. So now we can move on to the lips. And I just realized, like, instead of using that Hourglass highlighter, I would have loved to use my Natasha Denona highlighter, but I don't know where I put it, and I am so sad right now because that is like my favorite of all the highlighters I own. It just gives this like nice natural glow, and I don't know where it is, so I'm going to have to be on the hunt for that. But in the meantime, let's move on to the lips, and I actually have a brand new lip liner to try out. So here I have the Pat McGrath Permagel Ultra Lip Pencil with sharpener, and I got the shade Contour. I've heard amazing things about these Pat McGrath lip liners for such a long time, and I finally bit the bullet and bought one. These are $28 for a single lip liner. I got this a few days ago, and I've been wanting to wait to try it in a video. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's got that beautiful gold writing, and again, I have the shade Contour, and it does come with a little sharpener. So I am going to go ahead and line my lips with this, if I can get there we go. And I'm going to overline the lips with this as usual. Oh wow, that is nice and creamy. The shade is absolutely beautiful. I am like a big fan already. I'm also gonna fill in the lips with this because I don't have a lipstick to use, but I do have a gloss. All right, so that is the lip liner all on, and so far I am in love with it. I love the shade. It was nice and creamy. It feels nice on the lips. It was really easy to like fill it in, and it feels like it's kind of setting, so it's gonna last a long time. That's one thing that I hear about these Pat McGrath lip liners, is that they last all day long. But so far so good. Now I'm gonna go in with a Pat McGrath lip gloss. This is one of the mini Opulust lip glosses, and this is in the shade Naked Rose, and it is just a beautiful rosy shade. It's got like pink and gold shimmer all throughout. It is so pretty. I love these glosses. Okay, so I'm just gonna get that on the lips, and I thought this would look really pretty with that eye look as well. And the blush, oh my gosh. One thing that I do love about these glosses is they're not like overly like goopy and sticky. They just feel really smooth, and you get a lot of shine because there's so much like shimmer in there, but it's not like metallic, like tacky looking. Just looks so pretty. I just realized I forgot to turn off my fan for that last little bit of this video, so I apologize for the background noise. So that is the full face of high-end makeup. Let me know what you guys think about this full face, and leave a comment down below and let me know what some of your high-end holy grails are. Like, what is worth the splurge for you? I'd be really interested to know. I am in love with my makeup right now. I feel so pretty, and I definitely feel like there is a huge difference from the dollar store makeup to this makeup. Sometimes you do get what you pay for, and the higher end option is sometimes a little bit better. Even if you just go from Dollar Tree to like Walmart, like drugstore makeup, I feel like there's a big quality difference there as well. You can find amazing makeup at the drugstore. I am like a big drugstore makeup fanatic. Don't expect to see like too much high-end dedicated videos on my channel. I just thought this would be really fun. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you leave and click the bell so you get notified every single time I upload. That is it for me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!